everyone, this is Daphne Tett, and welcome to today's video, which should be pretty obvious, since it's the video you're watching today. Okay, what was that all about? So last week I took you through my travel journal, through my entries from my trip to Hawaii, and I figured there's still one more trip I haven't told you about. Is last year is my Carnival cruise over Christmas break. I made a song about it in Dang an Island. You should remember. I went on vacation for Christmas. It was a Carnival cruise. I wrote about it in my travel journal. Well, actually, I left the paper journal at home, so I just wrote down my entries in the Notes app on my phone, and I have transcribed them for you, so I can, use the camera use the phone to film with the camera. Okay, where am I going with this? Let's just get started. Okay, December 22nd, Galveston. I didn't have to wake up early this morning since we weren't leaving the house until 9. I had breakfast to put on some clothes before doing some last-minute packing, and in classic Tett fashion, we did not, in fact, leave at 9. But I didn't catch the time we did leave. I just know it wasn't 9. I spent the whole car trip trying to push out the last bit of episode 10 of Splatoon. Is gamer tip, it was episode 10. We got back to the port near 11. We took a quick potty break before going through the long and arduous check-in process, guzzling down all the water in our disposable water bottles because they just can't handle it. We finally boarded the ship at 12 or 12:30. The first thing we decided to do was get some food. I wasn't all that hungry, so I decided to get some ice cream. I played some Tomodachi Life at the table. Blanchard and Bea nearly divorced, but I was not going to happen. Why can't I read? I should have done vocal warm-ups for speaking. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Huh. Anyway, Blanchard and Bea nearly divorced, but I was not going to allow that to happen on this cruise. It's a good thing they waited until afterwards to divorce. Okay, where were we? Our rooms were ready at 1:30. We went down to the ship's basement, which is to say, deck 1, to check them out. We lounged around like lazy babies and watched a safety video about how fire was dangerous at sea. Somehow even more dangerous than it is on land, I don't know. Then the luggage came and it was time to start unpacking. We were all crammed to the same 10 square feet for most of it, and we ran out of hangers, but ultimately we made it work. We had to go up to a boat drill at 3:30. All we did was just stand there. It was done at about 4. That's when I decided I was hungry. So Mom, Dad, and I went up to the food deck for some pizza, and we watched the ship leave dock and while we were there. Mom also got a sandwich, and as a reward for reciting the entirety of Albuquerque by Weird Al Yankovic to her, let me have her fries. And if you haven't heard that song, it's 11 minutes long, and I can recite the whole thing to you if you want me to. Okay, moving on. And you have your fries, and we went back down to Mom and Dad's room and returned to lounging like lazy babies, all tired and discombobulated from the rocking of the ship, and Alex and Merla also joined us, and we lounged around like lazy babies. And at 7:30, we went to Clue at the Victoriana Lounge, where the dead body would not stay dead. I forgot, did it have to move further into the light so we could see it, but dead bodies don't move on their own unless it's the Night of the Living Dead? Let's see, at 8:15, we went straight to our hecka late dinner. I started with a roll, ate a chicken breast, 2 red potatoes, and fries for an entree, and finished with some ice cream. After dinner, I was too tired to do anything, and I went to bed at 10. Moving on. December 23rd, at sea. I woke up at 7 a.m. and hung around in a room with 2 sleeping people. I guess I did tell you which room I was in. I was in a room with Alex and Merla, and they're both late sleepers. And then there's me. So anyway, yeah, I woke up at 7 a.m. and hung around in a room with 2 sleeping people. At 7:50, I went over to Mom and Dad's to hang around and discuss plans for... Oh, I wrote plans for the dad! So, yeah, I meant plans for the day. At around 8:20, we rounded Merla up and went up to breakfast. I had scrambled eggs with pepper and not salt. That's how I am. I can't have scrambled eggs without... I need both salt and pepper. I had to eat my scrambled eggs with pepper and not salt, and I was not happy. Anyway, a piece of toast, some roasted potatoes, 2 sausages, and a bite of thoroughly underwhelming croissant. We also saw the most amazing thing. Alex awake before 10! We went to slogan trivia at 10 o'clock. I failed horribly, but had fun doing it. Then we chilled in the lounge for a bit. Alex and I started a group chat renaming war. Yeah, so for the cruise, we all got the Carnival app, and there's like a way to start a group chat with everyone in our party, and Alex and I would just keep renaming it over and over again, just because, like, we can. At 11:30, Dad, Marilyn, and I went way up for some mini golf. It was super windy, so much that the ball wouldn't stay in place. It's also like a pretty light ball, so it's just like, you couldn't stand on that little board thing at the start of the hole where you put the ball, and it's got those little nubbins to put them in. It's not a tee, it's more like a, well, if you've played mini golf, you should know. Okay. So much of the ball wouldn't stay in place. At 12:15, Dad and I borrowed Sorry from the library and decided to play in the Victoriana Lounge. Dad beat me literally every time. There was also a talk about shopping in Cozumel going on when the guy started spouting bullcrap about the natural frequency of the Earth, which according to him was 7.53 megahertz. My geoscientist father just had to make a note of it. On 1:15, we met up with Mom and Merla on deck 10. Then I went down and changed in my swimsuit so I could hit the pool. And the pool was way too cold, so I hit the hot tub instead. Afterwards, I got out, dried off, and changed back, and Dad and I got some burgers for lunch. We also ran into the other peoples. I had my DS with me and decided to play some Tomodachi Life. I got some ice cream before Dad and I went to scout out some chairs on deck 3, but they were all wet, so we went back up to the room. At around 4, why back up to the room? We were literally on deck 1. It just says back to the room. I just threw in the up for no real reason and no real thought process before it. Yeah, we went back down to the room, I meant to say. At around 4, we went up to the aft pool to lounge and read/write. It was chilly and super windy. Once it got too cold, we went back inside. I watched some Harry Potter in Mom's room and figured out the confusing shower controls. At 5:45, I went back to my room to shower and get ready for our formal dinner. We left at 6:45 for the 7 o'clock comedy show. The guy was funny, but he was nowhere near as captivating as the rotating benches that spun, even when no one was sitting in them. We went from there to our 8:15 dinner. This evening, I splurged and ate 2 pieces of bread. I also had a prime rib, fries to finish it off, and melting chocolate goo and 2 tiny scoops of ice cream. We went back to the room, and we all pretty much decided to pack it in. I went to bed at around 10, like I do. Okay. December 24th, Cozumel. I rose for the day at 7 o'clock. Around 8, Mom, Dad, and I went up for breakfast. I had scrambled eggs, this time with salt, a couple of hash brown patties, a piece of toast, and 2 cinnamon rolls. We took a banana, a cinnamon roll, and some chocolate milk for the sleeping brother. He let me have the cinnamon roll. In total, I had 3 cinnamon rolls. We were out the door around 10. We spent most of our time perusing the shops. I bought a cute silver bracelet. Alex and Mom went to get a drink at some bar. Dad, Marilyn, and I joined them at 11:45. We just sat there talking, enjoying the atmosphere, and taking advantage of the free Wi-Fi. We went back to the ship at around 12:45. At 1:30, I went to host choice trivia. Mom also joined me. The topic of choice is Carnival, which is not exactly a topic I'm knowledgeable in, but regardless, we got 12 out of 20 correct, which is a lot better than I was expecting. Afterwards, I got a burger for lunch as well as some ice cream. I ran into Mom, Dad, and Merla, and we all went on deck 3 to chill. I played on my DS until it ran low on battery. At 3:15, we went to mind game trivia. Mom answered most of the questions, and we got them almost all right. Then I went back to the room to read. At 4:45, I met Mom and Dad on deck 10 to watch the sail-off. The ship didn't actually sail off until we went back inside to get ready for Clue, Meet the Suspects at 5:30. At least the schedule said 5:30, but it started 10 minutes late. We were also promised with the ability to interrogate the suspects, but only Professor Plum and Mrs. White were there, and all they did was give us 3 clues. I declare false advertising. Okay, I hung out in the room for a little bit. I changed into my casual outfit before going up to karaoke at 7 o'clock. I sang Immortals by Fall Out Boy and brought the house down, if I do say so myself. There was some pretty good and pretty bad singing to be heard. At 8:15, we made our way to dinner. My tummy was feeling ooky because the ship was rocking about. I had meatballs for an appetizer, a flat iron steak, a baked potato, and ice cream to finish it off. I went to Betty by a little before 10. Freaking notifications. At least it isn't YouTube this time. Okay. December 25th, Isla Roatan. This is the day where it all goes down. Brief warning. I slept in until 7:25 this morning. At 7:45, I went up to breakfast with Mom and Dad before the buffet line got too long. I had scrambled eggs, roasted potatoes, a piece of toast, and a delicious cinnamon roll. After breakfast, Dad and I went to get some towels, so I took another cinnamon roll for the road. In total, I had 2 cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls there were the best, by the way. We left the ship at 9:45 for our 10:15 shore excursion. It started with a catamaran trip to a private island, and then we headed straight for the beach and dropped our stuff. Alex and Marla went snorkeling while the rest of us chilled in this big floaty ring in the water. Alex and Marla also joined us eventually. At 1 o'clock I decided to get my lazy butt out of there and get myself some lunch. I had 2 roasted chicken thighs. Anyway, because none of the food they were serving looked appetizing. Well, none of the rest of the food, at least. I ate the chicken thighs, of course. It was at about this time that I discovered that my shoulders were sunburned. The rest of the trip was pretty much discovering more places where I was sunburned, including my arms, my back, my chest, my legs. I was gonna go to the pool, but that's when it started downpouring. And the downpour lasted all of 5 minutes, and then I went into the pool. The catamaran back to the main island left at around 3:15. Dad and Alex stayed and went to the Fat Tuesday while us girls went back to the ship. At least we got sidetracked smelling the perfumes at the duty-free shop and then went back to the ship. The first thing I did was take a shower and wash my hair. The measure of pain from the sunburn was about 500 pain units on the Daphne scale at about this time. Then he went to deck 3 to play Tomodachi Life. I decided to leave when I smelled cigarette stink. Stayed in the room and read. At 6:20 I started getting into my formal dress. Then I left for 7 o'clock karaoke. I couldn't stop shaking while the other people were singing, but it stopped by the time when I got on stage. I sang Alive by Sia and promptly died. We headed from there straight to our 8:15 dinner. I had 2 pieces of bread, 2/3 of a New York strip steak, a helping of fries, and some chocolate melting goo and ice cream for dessert. Like, this time it actually felt like goo and not cake. It said cake on the menu, but it was just so melty, it could just like spoon it into my mouth. No, I used a fork. It was extremely difficult to eat. Not extremely difficult, it was just goo. So yeah, and I was miserable the whole time because I was tired, hot, and sore. We all went back to our rooms, and after slathering on a ton of lotion, I went to bed. December 26th, Belize. I woke up at 6:45 and moseyed on over to Mom and Dad's. We went up for breakfast at 7:30 before the line got too long. I had scrambled eggs, a couple of sausages, a piece of toast, and a cinnamon roll. While we were there, Dad made us promise that we wouldn't make any Belize puns. We failed miserably. Dad, Alex, and Marla had to leave early for their excursion, but Mom and I got some extra time on the ship. I spent it napping on Mommy's couch. We got up at 10:30 to get me some pizza before we left. We got on an 11 o'clock tender to get to shore. We spent forever waiting by the time for the excursion. We were supposed to leave at noon, but didn't until 12:20. It was a 30 or 40-minute bus ride to the place, and we all got into our mini boats and got the briefing on how to drive. Within 5 minutes, we were drifting and slowly turning to the right, no matter how much Mom turned the wheel to the left. The rest of the boats passed us while we were trying to get our act together. We trailed behind for most of it. Eventually, we made it to the lagoon and sped around for 45 or 50 minutes. Then the captain gathered us all together and led us back to the deck. The moment we got out of the boat and under the overhang was when it decided to start pouring again. And again, the rain lasted for about 5 minutes. We got on another bus and drove back to the port. Spent a couple minutes perusing the shops before getting in line and waiting 30 minutes for a tender back. We got to the ship just before 4. We went up for burgers and ice cream for myself before going up to deck 10 to read/play Tomodachi Life. Dad also joined us. We went back down somewhere between 5:30 and 6. Dad and I grabbed the day's clue puzzles before going back to the room. I changed into my casual clothes before going up to karaoke at 7. I didn't sing this time, but I did see some pretty phenomenal acts, wink wink. I went to dinner at 8:15. The rest of the gang met up with me at the restaurant. I had a roll, some fried chicken, a glop of mashed potatoes, and some ice cream. I was falling asleep on Mom's shoulder by the end, and I went to bed as soon as I got back to the room. December 27th, at sea. I was flabbergasted when I woke up and looked at the clock, and it said 8:24. I texted Mom and said, I want food. Of course, the food took a while because Mom and Dad had just woken up, but we did get breakfast. I had scrambled eggs, some roasted potatoes, a piece of toast, and a cinnamon roll. Then we chilled until it was time for the first item on our agenda, Friends Trivia at 11. I only got 3 right, but at least I had fun. After that, we went to the library and picked up Scrabble. Dad and I had a rousing game at the Victoriana Lounge, and Alex joined us for the second round. Then Alex had to leave for the hairy chess contest, so Mom took over for him. Oh, and the guy at the Victoriana kicked us out, so there we were with a precariously placed Scrabble game looking for somewhere to finish it. We eventually plopped back down to the library where Team Alex/Mom won the whole thing. Then we went to Giant Trivial Pursuit at 1:30. Dad and I went up to the 4th floor balcony to watch. One of the questions was, how long did it take for the Titanic to sink? Very fitting. At 2 o'clock, we all went out for lunch. I got myself a burger while the rest of the fam indulged in the buffet, especially the cakes. After lunch, I went down to change in my swimsuit so I could hit the pool. I floated for a while and went back around 4:20 blazer. I showered and changed back, and I grabbed my DS and went back up to join Dad for some Tomodachi and chill. Actually, I was the only one doing the Tomodachi. Dad was reading. We went back down a little after 5:30. I read in the room until it was time to change into my, in parentheses, itchy, casual clothes, and go up to the comedy show at 7 with the Rents. The comedian was hilarious and Texan. After that, we went back to Mom and Dad's room and had some scintillating conversation with Alex. We went to dinner at 8:15. I had a roll, a few bites of marinated chicken that I decided I didn't like and gave to Alex the eating machine, a flat iron steak, a baked potato, and some ice cream. I was pooped after a big day and went to bed at 10:15. And that's all I wrote about this trip. There's actually 2 more days. I always write about a day on the next day. And for like the second to last day, I'd have been writing it on the last day, except we were too busy then. And like by the time we got home, I was just like too out of it to like write about or leaving. Cause like when I'm not on vacation, I don't write in my vacation journal. It's for vacations. So yeah, that's all you're gonna hear about my adventures on this Carnival cruise. I got a massive sunburn at a beach in Honduras, and it was Christmas Day. Okay, what am I doing? I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another interesting video.